We've got some controversy in financial planning, my friends. This is good, and interesting. My man Alan Roth had written an article today in the Financial Planning magazine talking about the inexplicable stance of the CFP Board of Standards, where they're not regulating who is deemed clear and legitimate for a certified financial planner. It's actually funny because I had written a blog post about a year ago and did a video on this exact same topic, where if you look at the CFP Board of Standards and they have these advertisements that says basically we police up our own, all of our advisors through CFP Board are essentially pure as wind-driven snow. And I said no one ever, just because you have a CFP doesn't mean they're as pure as wind-driven snow. And Alan Roth took them to task for the insinuation that if you hire a person with a CFP, you're essentially hiring someone that has been past their stringent regulatory environment. And what Alan says, some like 6,000 CFPs out there who have issues with FINRA or the SEC and various state regulatory agencies, and somehow the CFP Board of Standards didn't identify that. And I agree 100%. I 100% agree with that. And I'm going to take issue, though, with a little bit of Alan's thing here, and I will in just a second. But before I do, let me just share with you what the CFP Board of Standards, apparently there's a big controversy in 2013 between fee-only and fee-based or something like that. And so the CFP Board of Standards, wanting to be on the right side of history with fee-only relative to fee-based, they basically started, cracking down, so to speak, the whip on advisors holding themselves as fee-only who sell products for a commission. Now, that might sound like a good thing. The drawback, of course, is that here's it is. So I was working for a firm up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and we had a guy who was our PM, our portfolio manager. I think he was our life insurance guy. He sold like 4 term policies a year. We probably made $200 total on that. And we didn't do it to make any money. We did it for a client service. It was just easier for the client just to go through this guy. Anyway, I got a call one day from the CFP Board of Standards. They say, "Hey, we noticed you're saying you're fee only. You can't be fee only because you work for a firm that sells commission products." Like, I don't. They said, "But your firm does." I said, "We sell like 4 life insurance. I don't have nothing to do with it." They said, "You still can't do that." Oh, look at them horsies. Oh, wow. Look at this. I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah. Is there anything better than, look at that. Look at that. You got the sun going down. Nay! Let's see if they look out the window. Nay, here they come, I think. Oh, they're going the other way. Oh, man. Nay! I guess they're going the other direction. Oh. No, he's looking for food. That's too bad. I was walking them yesterday. There's 2 of them sticking their head out the windows there. It's fantastic. Anyway. Would you stay on point? It's a beautiful world, my friends. Look around and enjoy it. Is there anything better than seeing a horse sticking his head out of a barn window? That's like that's just Americana if there ever was a picture. Oh, then you hear a little girl yelling at the horse, or not yelling, but you can hear the little girl in the background talking with the horses. Oh, man, that's just, I love being in America. All right, anyway. So I had to change it from fee only to fee based or something. I can't remember what I had to do. I didn't care. It was stupid, but I was like, okay. So the issue was, it came down. All right, so what if you sell a book? I mean, is that a commission? We don't know. I said, okay. What if I put a link to my Amazon page and you buy that inverter? I just posted a link to the Costco inverter. Costco doesn't do this, but just said they did. Where you bought it through an inverter generator. Where you bought it through a link because I told you about it. That's definitely a commission I get. Does that violate my fee only? We don't know. So it's just stupid, man. So anyway, and then the issue is literally you could not, if your wife was a realtor or your husband, and he or she made profit from being a realtor, i.e. selling product, you couldn't put yourself as a fee only either. It's like, but they have nothing to do with my business. But they could make a commission. So the whole thing is just stupid. I mean, there's just no other way around that. Yeah, I don't know. It's dumb. So, but at the end of the day, CFP, I guess there's some big scandal and they cracked the whip. So now you can't be a fee only if you have anything to do with anything that has a commission. It's dumb. All right, so anyway, so I had to change my thing. I didn't care. But that's the result of the scandal. So now we have the CFP board and spending millions of dollars on these advertising campaigns advocating for higher CFP on a make a plan, and our CFPs are great and blah, blah, blah. And Alan's take is, man, you got all these people who are being charged with felonies, and even they are passing the CFP's board without, basically coming across like they have no disclosures. And here's my thing with Alan Roth. What ticks me off about that is, dude, being charged with a felony or being charged with a misdemeanor or being charged with anything does not make you a criminal. Can I just repeat that? Being charged is meaningless. Meaningless. We know. Ask any lawyer out there. They can indict a ham sandwich. The prosecutors have all the power. I was just reading an article today about how prosecutors have immunity when they violate their power, and that's nuts. The prosecutors should be held accountable just like anybody else. And I can tell Alan has never been falsely accused of anything, because if he were, he would recognize the idea of violating someone's livelihood as a certified financial planner because of a charge. Just look at colleges right now, Alan. You got all these men, and there's one in Carleton University, wherever the hell that is, Minnesota, I think. The kid, there's literally evidence that shows he was innocent of what he was expelled for. The school knew about the evidence. They withheld it, even though they knew he was completely in the clear. This happens all the time. He got expelled. So, I mean, is the CFP board going to say you can't become a CFP because you got expelled and you have a convicted according to a court of law, but the commissars of these schools? You think that doesn't happen in regular law too? So what they say is a conservative is a liberal who's been mugged. A libertarian is a conservative who's been falsely accused, all right? So I don't like that at all. That ticked me off, because that just tells me it's the elitist perspective. The government would never falsely accuse anybody. Oh my goodness. Pull your head out of the sand, brother. Once you're convicted, that's one thing. But being charged should not violate your ability to hold your CFP letters. That's stupid. It ticked me off. But I agree with the course of what he was saying, which was CFP board isn't policing up his own, regardless, and yet they're using our money as CFP certificates who are members of the board of standards to advertise as if they are. It's completely misleading. I 100% agree with that. It's frustrating. All right, so let's go part two of this. A fee-only fiduciary, all right, versus a fee-based suitability. So I was reading an article in Medium today, and they interviewed a couple people, husband and wife, and it's weird they didn't make notice that they're married, which I thought was odd. And I know the wife, man, I don't know her direct. I just know on Facebook as part of that group. And she's pretty whacked. I don't know how else to put that. Let's just put it this way. If you did not agree that men should have a fair trial on these college campuses for accusations, you were inherently biased against women. It's crazy. And I was nuts. But anyway, whatever. So she said, and you got to look for these fiduciaries, the fiduciary standard, and not a fee-based, because a fee-based can take kickbacks. And I was like, dude, what are you talking about? Fee-based advisors will just say, or commission-based advisors, I don't care. We'll just say at Ed Jones, the kickback is what, a 12B1 fee? 25 basis points to make sure you're servicing the account. That's not a kickback. Now, is that disclosed? Probably not. Should it be? Absolutely, unequivocally. But you're going to tell me there's more kickback and insinuate there's more in terms of unethical behavior by a guy who's going to 12B1 fee at 25 basis points than a guy's charging 1.25, 1.5, or whatever the hell these guys are charging on a regular basis. I'm telling you, it's nuts. And the industry who feels like the fee only is the only way to go is crazy. And the crazy thing is there is a good way to go. The folks over at XYPN, they're doing it. The Garrett Financial Planning Network, they're doing it. This lady made mention of NAPFA, National Association of Personal Financial Advisors. They're doing fee only, but again, if you're charging 1.5% and you think like you're holier than thou because you're not charging commissions or a kickback, I think it's time to wake up and smell the roses here, because that's nuts. So anyway, going back to the whole thing about disclosures, and in this article in Medium made a big issue too about disclosures. And so Alan was making a big thing about disclosures. These folks are making a big thing about disclosures, and both Alan was saying, you know, you got to find out if anyone has a disclosure against them. And again, the insinuation is if you have a disclosure against you, somehow you're a bad financial planner or something like that. And so I just say, you want to look at your old buddy Josh? I got a disclosure against me. I invite you to look at it. You can go to SECIAPD, all right? And you'll find the Investment Advisor Public Disclosure Record. You can type in my name, put Scanlon in there, and you can see my disclosures. 9 pages. The disclosure is 9 pages, but my record is. And you can see what my disclosure is about. So according to some of these folks, if you have a disclosure, any of them, you should not be able to use your CFP letters, not be banned from the industry. I don't know. But if you look at my disclosure, it's stupid. Literally, I'm not going to defend it because it's over. At this stage, I could care less. But it's basically some guy was going through divorce. He wanted to take his money out. Got a call from his angry, soon-to-be ex-wife, and she was fit to be tied. I said, man, I don't know what to do. She said, do not give him his money. I had the guy over here yelling and screaming, the wife over here yelling and screaming. They're going through divorce, all on recorded line. I said, I don't know what to do. I got to talk to legal. Legal said, don't talk to him again. We'll take it from there. That was in 2013. I was had nothing to do with anything. Nothing to do with anything. 4 years later, I had already left USAA. I get a letter from FINRA that I'm part of an arbitration thing with USAA. I said, well, I don't even know and I was like, this? I could not believe it. So I contacted USAA, and they sent me what was supposed to be my evidence, which was the email chain that showed the legal team telling me to literally just step aside. They had it under control. So I was completely in the clear. But on top of that, I got a CD-ROM sent to me by the good folks at USAA about a case they're working on where a guy, it looked like he might have killed his girlfriend or something like that in Seattle. And the mom wanted to get the life insurance. But because his girlfriend had named the guy as a beneficiary, he was trying to get it, and USA was going to pay the guy, and it looked like he had killed his girlfriend. I had all the Social Security, I had all their information, everything, single thing you could know about these people. I was like, why in hell would USA send me that? Because they're so damn incompetent. And this is the whole point about the legal stuff, which is why I knew, I could fight this by this. I'd win if the arbitration were actually true, and there's any recourse for people being violated, like me in this case. I'd win without having any issue. But knowing that I've had a couple of friends who lose arbitration cases, even though other people in the same boat have won millions of dollars against USAA. The same evidence, everything's the same, just different courts in terms of arbitration panels and different attorneys' representation. But everything is the same from an evidence perspective. And then the one guy who lost cost him $40,000 for an attorney, and he ended up losing his arbitration anyway. Some other folks have won millions of dollars, and there's more to come who are also going to win millions of dollars on the exact same case. It just depends on who your arbitration panel is. So I'm sitting there, I could spend $30,000 to clear my name from what I had nothing to do with, and the evidence is overwhelming on top of the ineptitude of USA sending me the CD-ROM of this case and life insurance case in Seattle. So I'm just not going to bother, because if I lose, I'm out $30,000. And at the end of the day, I could care less. I'm pissed. Don't get me wrong, I'm pissed off by it. But I could care less because, like I've always said, if my own personal financial planning business doesn't work out, I'll go back to friggin' digging ditches or whatever, washing dishes. Look, man, I'm not too cocky where I can't do a regular job like a regular Joe does. Hell, I've been like that my whole life. It's only the last 10 years, last 25 years I've been in financial planning, but it's really only the last 10 where I've been on the elite side of the financial planning industry, where I can hold myself as wearing a suit. I'm so smart. Look at my suit. But hell, man, look at me right now. I'm in a t-shirt and shorts walking around the rich people in the neighborhood where they got horses. But anyway, so at the end of the day, I said, well, I'm not going to challenge it because I just don't care. But you can look on there. You can type up your old buddy Josh. You just write my last name in there, and you'll see the disclosure, and you'll see the insanity of that being on there. So going back to Alan Roth and these other people from the Medium. I remember you can look up some guy and say he's got a disclosure and say, does that make him bad or good? It doesn't. Literally, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant because I know how this works. All it takes is one squeaky wheel, and next thing you know, your name is on the disclosure list for the SEC and FINRA, and it'll never go away until you try to expunge it. So my man who got completely defamed by USAA, fired, I'm surprised he even has a job in this business. He'll never be able to get that expunged. He'll always be on there, and he'll forever say whatever USA felt it should say. And that's the thing. USA says whatever it feels, and you got to prove your innocence. It's nuts. So when I heard these guys, Alan Roth, talking about all the people with disclosures who haven't been looked at by the CFP Board of Standards, I say, well, that doesn't, I mean, hell, all right, so what are they going to do? So would I not be able to hold my letters in, Alan, because I got this stupid disclosure? And Alan might say, no, it should be for, I don't know, bankruptcy. I mean, whatever it is, I don't know. But this is the whole point. The whole point is that the industry has no way to say this guy's a good financial planner, that guy's a bad financial planner. We just have no way to say that. And here's the deal too. What they're trying to do is this fiduciary standard to try to separate the good versus from the bad. And now the people at XY Planning Network and others too are trying to make it so you can only hold yourself as a financial planner, not even a certified financial planner, which you can't hold yourself out unless you pass the CFP Board of Standards test and whatever stuff you got to do. Folks at the XY Planning Network and others are trying to say you can't even call yourself a financial planner, literally violating your freedom of speech unless you have a college degree and I guess pass the CFP. I said, well, this is nuts, man. You got a freaking CPA, a CFA. They can't call themselves a financial planner because they don't have a CFP. Or you got a freaking insurance guy who's been doing this business for 50 years. He knows more about financial planning than some kid who just got a CFP. You're going to say he can't call himself a financial planner? I mean, give me a break, man. But that's, of course, what all incumbents do. They try to make it barriers to entry. Keep competition out. Because if you can keep competition out, inherently, you can make more money, which is exactly what incumbents in all industries try to do. Keep those guys out because they're not that good, but we are better. Well, how do you know? Because we say so. I mean, we've seen this time and time again. Hey, puppy, a big dog there. Anyway, so that's the difference between CFP Board of Standards with the XY Planning Network. There's those horsies, and what I challenge that because I think it's silly. And at the end of the day, if you want to call yourself a financial planner, hell, call yourself a financial planner. I don't care. Let the consumer decide. But the people say, but Josh, the consumers don't have enough information, or they're too stupid to be able to make the choice. And this is the problem with our current society. At some point, people got to be policing up your own actions. You can make your own decisions. You're a big boy. You don't need some freaking newly minted CFP with 2 years experience, I guess 3, to say who is right as a financial planner, who's wrong. You can just do that as a consumer. Anyway, so that's a controversy. It'll never be solved because there's no right or wrong way. Is my financial planning right or wrong? I had a friend of mine who was right pissed at me because I challenged the idea of paying a fee for asset under management. And he's offended by that. He said, well, look at what you're doing. You charge down $150 for a financial plan for folks who have less than $500,000. So his premise is that's the equivalent of whatever. I don't even know. I don't care. And I said, yeah, people don't have to pay it. They don't have to pay it. It's up to them. People don't have to pay asset management fees either. I said, I get it. But what we're finding is more and more people recognize the bad deal of asset management fees, and they're stopping to do that. And yet we have more and more people who need financial planning. So financial planners, pull your head out of your butts and recognize the vast world that exists out there of people willing to pay a service for financial planning, but they're not willing to pay a service for investment management advice, which is what makes sense. Anyway, that's my rant of the day. Controversy of financial planning. What are we going to do about it? Well, hopefully more people, when they see my YouTube channel and others, they say, you can make a living. You can have a career doing this. You're not going to get rich, but you can do better than the vast majority of people in the world and better than a huge majority of people in the United States. All from the comforts of your own home and your shorts and your sweaty t-shirt. It's a good life, man. I hope more people join me. I need you to help that happen by telling people about the benefits of real financial planning, not investment management, because investment management is a net loss. Real financial planning is a net gain. I guess that's it. We'll see you.